it didn't work out with Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome. The irony is, I was attracted to him because he was mysterious until his intentions were way too ambiguous. His vision for our future was blurry, like the lines that defined our friendship, so it's no wonder he couldn't lead, because he couldn't see. I stuck around for the ride, but the road to romance was foggy. I figured I could convince him that I was the rib he was missing. Strategically, I positioned myself in the driver's seat while he became a passenger with passive emotions. He got so comfortable chilling next to me. I'm talking feet up on the dashboard and seat leaned all the way back, but I wanted to be pursued. So naturally, I made the first move. I took the fruit from the tree, handed it to him, and told him to eat, to follow me. And my first mistake was taking lessons from Eve. You see, he had no intention of taking the wheel, but why? When I made it so easy for him to feel like he didn't have to lift a finger. Conversations about commitment lingered like the late night calls. Confusion every time I heard my ringer. It didn't feel like pursuit, but patience is a virtue, so I told myself to wait. That the time I invested wouldn't go to waste, but like unseasoned chicken, this relationship had no taste. And it wasn't even officially a relationship, more like a situationship. Like when he tells you he doesn't believe in labels, that y'all should be low-key, aka unstable, or when people would whisper, and he would assure them that we are just brother and sister in Christ. I mean, he was good at playing everything, including me. And I played myself when I took the lead. Asked him where he saw this friendship going, but the answer was in the question. His hidden intentions revealed hidden confessions. We were headed nowhere fast, because I had to ask. Found that you can't force a boy to be a man, and you can't make a man want to marry you, and that's okay. I'm not against dating. I'm not against women showing interest in who they want. I'm against women desperately trying to convince men to choose them when God created men to make clear decisions. It was God who made Eve a woman, and Adam who chose Eve as wife. But neither of these identities defined her because she was already defined by Christ. Eventually, this roller coaster came to an end. We went our separate ways, and I closed the door to being friends. I now know when something is dead and when something needs to be resurrected, and this was dead. I also realized that I'm a bit of a control freak. I found it easier to rest my family, friends, and finances at Jesus' feet, but not my future. Not a marriage I couldn't yet see, so I wanted to get a hold of it now, tangibly. I liked that God was the author of my faith, but I wanted to be the editor of my pace. Granted, I was able to avoid heartbreak, but still, I wanted to rush the wait. Thank God that there's grace, because I had to ask myself if I really trusted him the way I say I do, the way I pray I do. And the answers were exposed at the level at which I was almost willing to settle. I may or may not have met the man I'm meant to marry, but I do know that God's bulletproof plans are able to withstand the gunpowder of an unserious man who wants to shoot his shot. It's only when I remove that vest and expose my chest to the threat of loneliness that I create a mess of my emotions and confuse this single season as punishment rather than privilege, and what a joy it is to know God for myself, by myself. And in those moments, when I feel the urge to take matters into my own hands, I'm reminded that he who formed man is forming mine too. So that when the time comes, and the time will come, I will learn what it truly means to be pursued.